What should you turn up for? Hey guys, this is Austin. What are your thoughts on iOS 8 and OS X Yosemite? So I watched WWDC like I'm sure a lot of you guys did, and I'm actually pretty impressed. So iOS 8 I think is a solid upgrade. So nothing that's huge or revolutionary, but a lot of little things that really do seem to be focused more on the power user side. So things like being able to replace the keyboard, something that you've been able to do on Android for a long time, but it's cool that they kind of bring that kind of stuff over to iOS. Same thing goes for things like widgets. That's not a huge deal, but it's definitely kind of a nice little addition. And lots of smaller things that overall kind of add up to be a much better experience. On the Yosemite side, I think it's an even bigger upgrade. So OS X has been around for quite a while, and while there's definitely been some upgrades, the look has actually not changed that much, especially when you compare something like Windows XP to Windows 8. It's a big difference. So I think one of the big things that I'm excited about in Yosemite is the fact that it's going to work better with iPhones. Now I know not everyone uses iPhones, but the fact that if you do, it makes it a lot simpler. I mean, you can take phone calls on your Mac, you can reply to texts, you can start like writing an email on your phone and bring it over to Mac and vice versa. I think that is an awesome feature, and I would totally love if Microsoft kind of borrowed it for Windows 9. How do you deal with the hordes of fangirls you encounter on the streets every day? Well, I mean, it's dangerous, for one, because there's just so many of them, just everywhere, just, you know, so I like to stay inside, and I don't actually like to go near them. So, you know, I know they're everywhere, but I've never seen them because I want to stay inside and stay safe, because hordes are dangerous. You know, I'm like zombies, like zombie hordes, right? Like those are things you want to stay away from. So fangirl hordes, same thing. They're not zombies, but they're close, so I stay inside all the time. How do you feel about the direction Microsoft is taking with the Xbox One? So I talked a little bit about this last week with Microsoft removing the Kinect from the Xbox One bundle, which will save you $100 if you don't want Kinect. And then they recently allowed you to use the Xbox One controller on a PC, which I actually did a video on if you guys want to check out. And on top of that, they're now also going to be freeing up a little bit more of the GPU resources. So previously, around 10% of the GPU of the Xbox One was dedicated to Kinect, you know, with audio tracking and the video and all that kind of stuff. But now that the Xbox One Kinect isn't going to be mandatory, that's going to be freed up for games. So you might see some things like, you know, maybe a little bit higher resolutions or better anti-aliasing, just a little bit more horsepower available to the Xbox One. So I'm happy with all of these choices. I think that Microsoft is really kind of making a good decision as my phone goes off, but I'm going to keep talking. I think it's a good overall thing for Microsoft to kind of improve the Xbox One across the board. Can we expect GTA 5 for next gen this E3? I don't like to make predictions, but I would hope that we will. I mean, GTA 5 has been one of the most successful video games of all time, and that's only on the Xbox 360 and PS3. So you can imagine how well it'll sell on PS4 and Xbox One and PC. So yes, I very, very much hope that we will see Grand Theft Auto 5 next week at E3. Are you Linus's long-lost relative? I don't think so. Would a MacBook Air be good for light video editing? Definitely. It's a surprisingly powerful little laptop. So I actually use a MacBook Air 11-inch myself when I travel, so it's really great for when I go to like trade shows like CES and E3, so I can carry it around in my bag all day long. It really doesn't weigh all that much, and yet it has plenty of power to handle kind of basic, simple editing like I do at events. So it's not going to be able to handle giant, complex After Effects projects, but for doing the kind of videos that I usually do, it's more than good enough. Is the Xbox 360 Slim worth buying now with the Xbox One released? Absolutely. So the Xbox 360, if you've never had one, is a great console with years and years and years of awesome games. So if you never played games like Mirror's Edge and Fallout 3, then the 360 is a great way to get into those games. And on top of that, a lot of the fantastic games for the console are really cheap. So you can go and spend just a little bit of money and get a ton of awesome games to keep you occupied for a very long time. When did you first know you loved tech? it would probably be with the arcades. So when I was younger, and I know I've told this story before, but I used to love going to the arcade, especially when I first got into school, like kindergarten and first grade and that kind of stuff. I loved going to the arcade, playing like Hydro Thunder and Pac-Man and Cruis'n USA. That was just absolutely like my favorite thing to do. So my dad finally got tired of taking me down there, so he bought me an original PlayStation 1. And as soon as I got that, I was totally hooked. I've just loved gaming, I've loved technology, just this magical thing that's just awesome, and I absolutely love it. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, or Google+, and I'll have all those links in the description of this video. Also, if you guys want to check it out, I also have Instagram. So I've actually had Instagram for a couple years, but I've been trying to be a lot more active and post a lot of pictures over there. So if you guys want to check that out, it is instagram.com/astronautduncan, and of course that link will be also in the description of this video. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Whoa.